Hey, yo, it's your girl, Corey.
It's your boy Chemist, and welcome back to Black Box Conversations, where we give guidance to issues and topics that you may be going through. We did have a question that was submitted. I'll go ahead and read it. That way we can hop right into it, right? How long should you wait after a breakup to start dating again? Go ahead, sister. Let's get some
Okay,
info.
for this, I don't feel like there's just like an instruction book on how long you should wait. It really is based off of you and what you're ready for. They say for every year you were in a relationship, you're supposed to wait 3 months. So if you was together 10 years, that's what, 30 months. So, I mean, if you want to go on the scientific part, but for me, I feel like you shouldn't move on until you're completely ready and healed, because if you can move on and start dating someone and start a relationship with that person, if the other person can call you at any moment, then you ain't ready. If you're willing to risk whatever you start new with someone else, I don't feel like you're ready. Also, you have to be cautious when you're playing with other people's emotions. If you start dating someone else or start becoming in like in a relationship with that person, but your ex can call you at any time and you'll go back to them, you got to be real cautious with people's emotions, because somebody might love you today, but they can definitely hate you tomorrow. And not everyone can charge you to the game. So just be cautious, like moving on, like make sure you're healed, make sure you're ready to put your energy and effort into the next relationship. Because if you're not and you get with someone that's a little bit more sensitive, that can cause some violent behaviors. That can cause all your business being put on Facebook. That can cause a lot of things. You don't want to cause that pain and confusion on someone else, especially if you've already went through it yourself. That's why they say hurt people hurt people. So to me, I just feel like once you've closed the previous door and there's no energy that can come from it that can change or deter what you got going to the next door, then you're ready. If you're ready to put your all energy and effort, just like how you did with the previous person, then you're ready. But if the other person can come in at any time, you're not ready. Don't play with other people's emotions. Don't cause pains and confusions, and don't open another door until you close the previous one. That's how I feel.
I like that. I definitely like that. I like the first thing that you highlighted. I think that's one of the most important things. You have to take time to heal yourself. You have to take time to heal yourself. You don't want to come into a relationship with open wounds. You don't want to come into a relationship projecting from your last experience or from your last relationship. And really, it just depends on how long you were in that relationship. Take time out to heal yourself. It's nothing wrong with being by yourself, alone with yourself, isolating yourself, taking some time out for yourself, treating yourself, do whatever you have to do to get in that healing space. Spend time with yourself. The second thing is take accountability for what you did wrong, and also accountability for what you did right. So be honest with yourself, right? Why did the relationship end? Was there something that you could have did better? What did you do right that you can bring to the next relationship? What things do you want to leave behind? Things that you don't want to carry. That's called honesty and accountability. And that's honesty and accountability with yourself, right? The third thing is, what lessons did you learn from that last relationship? Did you learn about yourself? Did you learn about your triggers? Did you learn what to do, what not to do? Because if you're in all of these relationships and you're not learning a thing about yourself, then there's a problem. So ask yourself, what lessons are you learning? And then I think important thing is, why do you want to date? Like, why do you want to date? Is it because you're trying to distract yourself? Is it because you're still dealing with pain and you really haven't healed? What is the reason you're ready to rush into a relationship again? Right? Because a lot of people like to be distracted. A lot of people don't want to deal with their hurt. They don't want to deal with their wounds. And they can't be alone with themselves, sister. They can't be alone with themselves. So soon as they in one relationship, they hop right in another relationship and they ain't healed. They ain't took time out for themselves. They're afraid to be alone with themselves. Take that time out. Heal yourself. But ask yourself, why are you trying to date again? What's the reason? What are your goals? What are your goals for dating? What does the end goal look like for you? A lot of people, they hop in relationships, they have no direction whatsoever. They just do it just to do it. They just do it just to do it. They have no GPS. They have no idea where they're going. They go in circles. And eventually, you're going to run out of gas. So heal yourself. Be honest with yourself. Take accountability for the things that you did wrong, for the things that you did right. Ask yourself, what are the lessons that you needed to learn from the relationship? Did you learn those lessons from the relationship? Ask yourself, why do you want to date? And then ask yourself, what are your end goals at the end of it? So
You know what?
that's
That's crazy
take.
because you highlighted something. A lot of times you see people backdooring relationships, and that they may have been like the previous one, but it's the same relationship that they were already in. It's like, take time to heal yourself. Now, some people can jump from relationship to relationship because they never allow themselves the time and energy to open up, so they don't have those lingering feelings because they never had feelings for the previous person. But also, if you're asking a question on how long should you wait, then I don't think you're ready for another relationship, because you should know, like, if you're healed or not. And if you don't know if you should go on because of what other people think, that's a problem too. You got one life to live. If you want to go on to another relationship, or if you want to go ahead and start dating, do what you want to do what makes you comfortable. Also, if you're dating someone and you're not quite healed, don't go into it having these people think that there's a potential for a relationship or you'll be open to loving them. Be very open and honest, because there's a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
And one thing I know is people do not play with their emotions, not whatsoever. And some people, like I said earlier, some people can charge you to the game, but some people gonna make you suffer because you hurt their feelings. Now you about to suffer because they didn't come into it with any ill intent, and you took light of their feelings. So to me, just when you're ready to give the energy and effort into a relationship, that's when you're ready. It don't matter if you was with someone 6 months or 10 years, because sometimes we leave a relationship that we were in for 10 years, but we've been in our head mentally gone out of that relationship for the last 5. But if you weren't prepared, or you still are going to have these emotions attached to that relationship, and you meet someone else that's putting all their energy and effort, that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
How would you feel if they did a you on you? And how would you feel if they lost it, because they thought that you wanted them and they were planning this future with you, yet you were just doing it to kill time because you didn't want to feel lonely and you're still hurt from Joe or whoever. So I just think once you're ready to put the energy and effort that the person is giving you, and that you can reciprocate that energy, that's when you're ready to move on. When you don't have to question, when you're ready to move on to another relationship, that is when you're ready.
And then another thing, right? You don't want to run with an open wound.
Yeah.
You don't want to run with an open wound. So make sure you're healed. And it's important for you to get closure, right? Because closure, that's a one-way street, right? We're not talking about reconciliation. We're talking about closure.
Yeah.
So you get that closure within yourself before you try to move on to anything else. Because what will happen is usually you're trying to move on when your heart and your mind is still back there. So you can't move on to anything new if you're still stuck in old territory. You can't do that. So make sure you're healed. Make sure that you have that closure. And at the end of the day, ask yourself, what are you trying to get out of dating? What are you trying to get out of this relationship? That way, you have goals. You have something to aim for. You're not just shooting recklessly, right? And I applaud the person that asked these questions, because a lot of people don't ask these questions, right? A lot of people, they just hop right into it. They hop right into the boat, and the boat's sinking. And you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it's a catastrophe. And so these questions, I applaud those that asked or whatnot, but these are some things that they need to be highlighted, because what happens is we have broken men and broken women hop back into relationships, and they project their brokenness onto a person that didn't do anything to them. They project their wounds. What they say, don't bleed on the person that didn't cut you. You know what I'm saying? You bleeding on someone that's completely innocent. You comparing so-and-so to Bob, and that ain't Bob. You know what I'm saying? You comparing so-and-so to Susan, and that's not Susan. So heal yourself. Get your closure. Ask yourself these questions. Have that inner dialogue with yourself. Okay, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Okay, what lessons did I learn? Yes, I have to be accountable for me. Okay, now I'm ready to move on because now I know where I'm at, where I'm headed, where I'm aiming to.
Okay, let me read the chat.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so Marcus said, when you feel it deep down inside, when do you feel like it's time? I think he meant when you feel like it's time. Let's see. Erica says, so true. People emotions are important too. It was about 5 months before I could move on. So
It takes time, man. It takes time, especially if you spent time and energy invested in something. That's going to take time for you to heal. It's like having surgery. That wound is not going to heal all the way. I was open. I was cut deep. That was a wound there. I had to get that surgically repaired. It's not going to heal overnight. That's why I say don't run with an open wound. You're going to start bleeding again.
let's see. Where was I? So true. People's emotions are important too. It was about 5. Yeah, true. The healing is a process. It's a long process. Let's see. Ms. Mildred said, I think it depends on the type of relationship you are in with the person, but you also need to give yourself time to rethink, regroup. I also think that some relationships you can still maintain a friendship as long as it's healthy, respectful, and know where you stand with each other at all times. That's
I
very
agree
true.
with that. I definitely agree with that.
That right there is very true. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. But yeah, just don't go playing with people's hearts and emotions just because you're not healed. Because, like I said, there's a thin line between love and hate. A person can love you today and hate you tomorrow and make you pay for hurting. Like, people do not play when it comes to them feelings.
No, they don't play when they come to their emotions. And you shouldn't play when it comes to your emotions either, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's why it's important for you to learn yourself, like learn who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it take as much time as needed. You don't have to rush back into anything. You're not trying to catch up to anybody. You're not trying to compete with your friends or any. This is your life. So take time out to get you right. Because at the end of the day, you lay down in your skin and you're gonna wake up in your skin and you gotta live with yourself, right? So take time out for you. Take that time. Be alone with yourself. Give yourself the healing and the time that you need. And then if you're ready to hop back out there, go ahead.
I think you made a really good point too. Stop comparing yourself to other people, because I don't know, with this generation, with social media being broadcast, it's just like you see like all the relationships and everything, and kind of like people are competitive. They looking at other people's goals and stuff, but they don't even know what goes on in those relationships, and
They
then
have
they be
no
surprised.
idea.
They be surprised when this person broke up because this person was abusive, or this person broke up with this person because this person was a cheater or did drugs, and those were your goals. Like, you made a really good point. Don't try to mimic someone else's relationship. Make your relationship unique to you, and just make sure that everything that you want out of a relationship that you're willing to give as well.
Definitely. Because social media will lie to you. Social media will fool you. Please don't try to copy and paste what you see on this Facebook or what you see on Instagram or whatever other platform. Please don't copy and paste that. That's good. I'm trying to tell you, a lot of people do it for clout. Don't do that. Do what's best for you. At the end of the day, ask yourself what you want and then go after it. And no matter how long it takes for you to get there, eventually you're going to get there. Don't compare yourself to your friends. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. This is your race and yours alone.
Oh yeah, and keep them standards high. Sometimes we get out of one relationship and we just want to be with someone else. So like our standards are low. Like, what is it, the rebound thing? No,
Yep.
Keep them same standards. Don't let anyone tell you that what you want and what you value is any less than what you should go after.
Yeah, and one thing that you shouldn't do is lower your standards because you feel like it's not going fast enough for you. And you done seen everybody else, they done went and got married, and you're like, damn, now I gotta settle for Joe. And you know damn well you don't love Joe. You know damn well Joe can't offer you shit. And then guess what? You done married Joe, and now you're miserable with Joe. Keep your standards where they are.
You're gonna be cheating anyway, so don't rush the process. Make sure you heal. All right. If anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and play this quick while we wait to see if there's any questions. The song I'm playing is by Jah Quick, Jah and Quick, and you can find it on YouTube. And
you look good in that voice, sister.
Also, make sure that y'all check out our YouTube channel. It is the 444 Network. Maybe I should go ahead and put it in the chat.
Thank all the guys that are tuned in. Thank everybody that has shared the feed. Thank all of our supporters, all of our day ones. We really appreciate you. Couldn't be here without you. Couldn't do this without you.
That's what they wanted. So I gotta go ahead and give it to them like that.
So make sure y'all like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate everybody. Let's see who's been sharing. Christina, Yvette, Erica, and Miss Shannon. Thank y'all all for sharing and liking our posts. We see you. We appreciate it. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you, Erica, Christina, and Shannon. And
shout out to our winners. Yeah, shout out to our winners from the drawing that we did, man.
I got the features of preachers and teachers. My mama told me to watch out for the leeches. I spent the evening, I measured my meters. If you cross that line, then I'm bombing the lecture. Go to some with the heaters. The meanness, penis, like don't be some eater. Go to some freezer, I came to defeat you. Defeated the devil, I'm still undefeated. I got the features of preachers and teachers. My mama told me to watch out for the leeches. I spent the evening, I measured my meters. If you cross that line,
I really wanted to touch on a subject, but I don't think we got enough time.
What you want to touch on, sister?
The same thing I was talking about last time.
If we don't have
time,
we can always carry over. You hear me? If we don't have time, we can always carry over into next time.
Yeah, because I was talking to my baby daddy about it too, and I was like, I should record this. This is good. Yeah. Nah, that's a.
What's on your mind? Don't tease us. Now you done gave us a tease. What's on your mind?
No, you know how I was just talking about like how we got the question last time on why women deal with broke men. So, I was just like, how I was saying, I feel like it's a culture thing. Like, we accept that because we allow like these broke men to be broke. If there's nobody pushing them and to thrive and be better, they're going to continue to do that because it's accepted. It's accepted to move in with your girl while she's at work, drive her car, eat her kids' food. Like, that's what's accepted. And I feel like, just like with women, like, just think about this right now. Like, right now, women are feeling like they have to look a certain type of way, right? So you got women out here getting BBLs, going to the gym, whatever. You got 30, 40-year-old women competing with 20-year-old women because there's a certain way that a woman is pushed to look right. So to me, if that was the same thing with like the people with like how we treat our men and we made them feel like they had to come to a higher level, I feel like that would eliminate that process. Like when you aren't getting any attention and when people aren't putting in the energy into you because you're not at a certain standard, what are you going to do? You're going to push yourself to become that standard because a lot of times men do something for the women and the women do something for the men's appeal. You're looking like you're going to say something.
No, I'm listening. I think that this dating question was pretty good because if you ask these questions before you go into a relationship, that kind of saves you on the opposite end. You know what I mean? Like when you're going into it, you know what you expect out of it.
Yeah.
You're not just going into it without any goals. You're not just going into it without having value yourself, knowing what you bring to the table, but also expecting someone else to bring something to the table. You're not settling for anything. So this is why it's important to ask questions before you get involved with anyone. on anything. Get to know that person, right? Get to, what are your goals? You know, what do you want to accomplish? Regardless of where you are, what are you trying to do? You know, what does your future look like? Now, if you ask these questions and you're not just hopping into a relationship, or you're not just attracted to the guy by the looks or whatnot, that's going to save you a lot. And two, at the same time, just like there's con artists out here, right? It's con artists, right?
Let me tell you, my ex, I'm sure.
Oh, man. But I think that you're better off prepared when you prep and prepare instead of just going in blind. And that's just not with women, that's with men also. You know what I mean? And even with society, I know society, it wants us to compete. It wants the women to compete against the women. It wants the men to compete against the men or whatnot. I think that we have to get back to that place where we're lifting each other up. This really stems from a very, very long generational curse of the man versus the woman. Back in slave days, when the woman was ripped from the man's hand and subconsciously planted within her mind that the man wasn't good enough, that he couldn't do anything that he had to do to take care of her or whatnot when it came to the slave masters and all of these things were rooted in us subconsciously. So that's why it's important for us to get to the point where we heal ourselves. We understand who we are. We understand who we are as a people. We understand what we're aiming for. That way we won't settle for something lesser than us or whatnot. And that's with the men and the women. We got to get back to the point where we start lifting each other up. The social media will fool you. What's going on the radio and on the TV, it will fool you. At the end of the day, we got to love ourselves. And in return, once we love ourselves, we'll start loving those around us. You know, if we project nothing but misery onto others, that means we're probably miserable on the inside of us. So that's why we need to heal ourselves. We need to spend some time alone with ourselves, lift ourselves up, lift our sisters up, lift our brothers up. That way we become the standard that we want other people to reach. That way we become the goal. You know, we want people to aim for something that we ain't even reached yet. We still growing and becoming. But once we heal ourselves, that gives other people, you know, something to reach after or whatnot.
Like, I get what you're saying. I feel like you can heal while you achieving goals. Like, just the whole, like, because if you sit there and you allow yourself and your emotion and your trauma to take over, you're gonna stay there. I feel like you said before, it starts in the home. Like, parents, what are you doing to tell your child? Like, are you letting a repeated cycle happen? Are you on your child's tail about accomplishing something and becoming something? This whole like 50-50 rule, like I feel like when we're raising young men, we need to install in them what they should accomplish and not take anything less than that. When we're raising young women, we need to install in them what's okay to accept and what they shouldn't be accepting. I feel like, yeah, there's generational, I understand, like, we come from generations. I understand that it's in our DNA and it takes 5-6 generations just for that trauma to come out. But if we don't do something now, we waiting to heal, then it's just going to continue to be like that.
I agree, but you have to attack the root before you attack the symptom. And like you said, we come from broken houses. So it's our job as parents, it's our job, not just as parents, but as the community, to learn how to heal what's broken. Because we can't expect those from the outside to heal. Why are you going to call someone to come put out a fire in your house when they want to see it burn? We expecting those from the outside to come heal us. It starts with us. It starts in our house. It starts with our family.
Well, not even necessarily trying to get somebody from the outside to come and help us. It's us. Why are we accepting and being okay with watching these young men use these young women for all their benefits?
But see, it's not just the young men though. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
So I'm talking about the young women and the young men. Like, why are we letting it be acceptable? Because it's a cycle. Because if the young men are not putting forth the energy and effort to become something more, and the reason I'm saying young men, because statistically, young Black women are some of the highest educated people. So and this was based off the question that we had before, but it's like with the young women, why are we not instilling in them that is not acceptable behavior? Don't accept the bare minimum. You know, like, and whenever they say that they have a certain standard, why are we looking at them like you're a gold digger? Like, why would you want someone at a low standard? Why is it being acceptable? And why, when a young Black woman says that they want something of a higher standard, why is it frowned upon? You know, like, to me, it's a cycle. See, I didn't want to get into this because I knew this was going.
No. We should get into it, but the thing is, you can't speak on the minority as the majority and the majority as the minority. Now, if you had experiences with a certain amount of men and a certain amount of men did that, that's okay. But our men are not that way, just like our women are not that way. Everybody has a different experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm referring to the question. I'm not saying that it's. I'm saying it's a problem. Because there's plenty of successful Black men. There's plenty of Black men that are doing real good in the community. There's plenty of Black men. There's a lot of, just off my Facebook alone, I've seen so many great Black fathers, so many Black male role models. But I'm just like,
so that's what the focus should be. Instead of us focusing on the negative all the time, why can't we reverse the cycle by focusing on the positive? We highlight the negative. We highlight what the men are doing. Okay, what men are doing something right. Let's put the spotlight on them. They're not talked about. Okay, this man that went out there, he didn't accomplish his goals, he didn't took care of his family, he didn't took care of his kids. Let's talk about these men. Let's talk about the successful Black woman who then did the same thing. We always are highlighting the negative. We need to reverse the cycle by changing our focus, recalibrating our mind, and start focusing on the positive. That way, the vibrations began to change. Now people are seeing something differently. Now they're not just focusing on the niggas that's in jail or the niggas that's deadbeat, baby daddies or something like that or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Now, okay, that's what a man looks like. That's what a man is accomplishing. And that's why I said we can't just focus on the minority as it's the majority and the majority as if it's the minority. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. It's just like whenever you see so much, and this is based off of the question, let's say based off of the overall picture. This was me backdooring from the question because, you know, we got into like a deep conversation about it. It's just like, how do we as a community highlight, you know, more positive images? Because imagery is everything. And the more that we can show this in our community, the more the younger and the youth will follow that. Like,
yeah,
that's my question. Like,
this is a good question and good conversation.
And
I really want to answer that question, but maybe we can save it for next time because it's 6:30 right now on the dot, and maybe this could lead us into our next segue.
And I told you, like, let's not go. You know how I think.
That's a beautiful thing, though. You hear me?
Yeah. But if anyone has any questions that y'all would like us to answer in our next live, we go live again. What's today? Wednesday. We go live again on Wednesday at 6 p.m.
I done got lost with the days of the week. Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday we go live again at 6 p.m. So if y'all have any questions, you can inbox me or you can inbox Kemish. You will be anonymous. It could even, if you just want us to talk about a certain topic, or if you have like a question that you would like advice on, you could inbox us it. Everybody is going to be anonymous. Are you anonymous? No.
Yeah, I'm going to let you say that word because I keep messing up on it, dude.
But you can do that. Also, make sure that y'all like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the 444 Network. If you go to my page, there's no way you ain't gonna find a link for it. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's posted and blasted everywhere on the page.
Thank you for everyone that tuned in. We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who subscribe to our channel. It means everything to us. We like doing this. We do this whether we on camera or not. This is the kind of conversations we have.
We do this all the time.
Yeah, so just make sure y'all do that. We appreciate everyone. Yeah. You have anything else you want to say?
Thank you for all that are tuned in. Thank you to our supporters. Everyone that's tuned in, that's in the chat. Would you share the live feed? Sister, how long are we going to keep the live up?
This is probably, they're going to have to go to YouTube to watch it. After it posts on here, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. It'll be on YouTube. So like I said, make sure you go to the YouTube channel. If you missed out, it'll be up there. Also with plenty of the other lives that we do.
And that YouTube link will be up there, so we will share that a little bit later. If you guys that are in the chat, if y'all see that link, we ask that y'all share that also.
Well, if they go to my page, I got the link pinned to the top of the page. There's no way you go on my page and ain't seen it. I'm telling you. But once again, I'm your girl, Miss Corey.
It's your boy, Chemist.
And thank you for tuning in to Black Box Conversations. Y'all have a great evening.